Good morning, students. Welcome to the virtual classrooms. We are studying the organic chemistry. In the organic chemistry, we will be going through today with a new chapter, that is chapter number 11. We will be studying alcohol, phenols and ethers. Okay, we studied it actually in 11th standard, hydrocarbons, right? We studied alkenes, alkynes. We studied that all the groups together. The reason was because they were all hydrocarbons having same type of an functional groups present in it. Then we did it as an haloalkenes, haloarenes, where halogens were present. It was only the group where only the possible halogen compounds are there, or identical characteristic containing compounds. We are studying alcohol, phenol, ether because here we will be having it as a carbon bonded with oxygen with a single bond, right? In this chapter we will be having all the functional groups in which carbon is single bonded with oxygen, where its another valency of the oxygen is either completed either by hydrogen or by carbon. It's either by hydrogen or by carbon. That means only one valency is completed with the main chain, right? In this chapter we will be having such groups. In the next chapter we will be having some different groups where we will be studying it. Carbon is double bonded with oxygen, right? But at present we want to study it alcohol, phenols and ethers. Now when we are talking about the alcohol, phenols and ethers, what is the importance of the alcohol, phenol, ethers? As you already know it, that OH group, it's when present with the organic chain, then we are considering it as an alcohols. Specifically when we say that we are having it as an alcohols, when hydrogen of hydrocarbon is replaced by OH group, that is known as hydroxyl group. Particularly the OH group, we term it as a hydroxyl group. And we are talking about the hydrocarbon. But what type of an hydrocarbon it will be? When hydrogen of the hydrocarbon is replaced by OH group. But if that hydrocarbon is aliphatic, then it forms alcohol. If it is an aliphatic, that means you can write the complete combined definition for it. When hydrogen of an aliphatic hydrocarbon is replaced by OH group, it forms alcohol. And if that hydrocarbon is aromatic, then it forms phenols, right? Again, when I want to write the combined definition, that means I want to write the definition of phenol. When hydrogen of aromatic hydrocarbon is replaced by OH group, it forms phenols. When hydrogen of aliphatic hydrocarbon is replaced by OH group, it forms alcohol, right? Both of them are having it as a replacement of hydrogen by OH group. But one is aromatic, one is aliphatic. We will see that in the form of classification. And when we talk about ethers, when hydrogen of OH group in alcohols or phenols are replaced by alkyl or aryl group, then it forms ether. It means if I am having it as an ROH and if its H is replaced by R, or if I am having it as an AROH and its H is replaced by R, or maybe AR, alkyl or aryl group, whichever the group is replacing hydrogen of alcohol or phenol, they are going to form ethers, right? Okay, but by knowing this, or by knowing the compounds of alcohols, phenols and ethers, what is an importance in our day-to-day life? Now for that case you can say that alcohols means alcoholic or phenolic OH, where they are going to be formed. Then you can say that whatever the carbohydrates that we are having it in our day-to-day life, as a meal, we don't need carbohydrates, they contain OH, the sugar that you take it. Not only that much, the clothes that we are wearing it, they are the cotton clothes, and these cotton clothes, they are all nothing else but they are having it as an OH groups. Like that, many places are there where we need the OH group. Without the presence of the OH group, it's very difficult, right? So we can say that alcohols, phenols are going to be very important for alcohol. Even you can say that ethers, in our previous chapter we studied it, that in place of chloroform, the chloroform which has been exposed to the atmosphere gets poisonous and it produces phosgene, so it may be harmful, or it has been alternately replaced by some other anesthetic component, and that was nothing else but ether. Diethyl ether is one of the specific component as a local anesthesia that is been already used as for the anesthetic purpose. So we know it that these compounds are going to be useful to us in our day-to-day life. So let us study them in the detail. First of all, see, the chapter we can't study it whole together. We can't study all the functional groups together. So what we are going to do it is, we are going to study in certain parts of the chapter initially together, like classification, that we will be studying it. After classification you will be having it as an IUPAC nomenclature. So what we will be doing it is, first of all we will study about alcohols, then we will study about phenols, and then we will go for ethers, right? So one by one we will be studying all the three functional groups, right? So first of all, today we will be doing it as a classification of alcohols. First of all, we will be going through classification of alcohols. Now, when we are talking about the classification of an alcohols, what we will be having it as a classification of alcohols, then the same thing that we studied it in our chapter 10, classification of alkyl halides. The same terms, same factors, only the thing is here our functional group has been changed. Here we are going to have it as an OH group to be present over there, right? So here the first classification we will do it on basis on number of OH groups. The first classification we will study on the basis of number of OH groups. Now, if we have one OH group, we term it as monohydric. See, when we were having it as an one halogen group, we termed it as monohalide, right? Two OH group, we termed it as dihalide. Three, trihalide. Similarly, here when we are having it as an one OH group, we term it as monohydric alcohol. For example, CH3OH, methanol. We can have it as an CH3CH2OH, ethanol, and so on. One OH group, right? If I am having it as an 2 OH, we term it as dihydric alcohol. That means, for example, if I want to write it we will be having it as an CH2OH, CH2OH. Actually, the common name of this compound is ethylene glycol. It's a common name, right? If I want to write its IUPAC name, ethane 1,2-diol. Its IUPAC name is going to become as ethane 1,2-diol. Same way, if I am having it as in 3 OH groups, we will term it as trihydric CH2 OH CH OH CH2 OH propane 1 2 3 triol. Common name is given out as glycerol. Like that, you can have it as an 4 OH group. We will term it as an tetrahydric 5 pentahydric. If I take it as an example of glucose, it is having 5 OH group, right? So it's a pentahydric compound. If we are having it as in 6 OH, 7 OH and so on, we term them as an polyhydric, right? So on the basis of number of halogens, we term it as monohydric, dihydric, trihydric and so on, right? Okay, that is on the basis of OH group. Now the second classification, type the position of the OH group. Position or the attachment to the carbon, the type of the carbon, to which it is attached. That is primary. That means we know it that OH group attached to carbon which is attached with one other carbon, then such alcohols are termed as primary alcohols. If I want to write the example, CH3CH2OH, the functional group containing carbon is attached with only one other carbon. You can also have it as in the compound CH3CH2CH2OH. Still, this carbon is attached to only one other carbon, so it is termed as a primary OH group, right? Similarly, if we are having it as a secondary, that is OH group attached to carbon which is attached with two other carbons, then such alcohols are termed as secondary alcohols. For example, CH3CHOH-CH3. The OH group containing carbon is attached with two other carbons, so it is termed as secondary. If it is attached with three other carbons, we term it as tertiary. That means we will be having it as an CH3CH3CH3OH. Carbon is attached with three other carbons, right? So if OH group attached to the carbon is which is attached with, in place of this, if I am writing it as an 3 other carbon atoms, then such compounds are termed as an tertiary alcohols. So we can have it as an alcohols classified as an primary, secondary or tertiary, right? Okay. Next allylic alcohols. The next one we will be having it is a allylic alcohol. Now what is the meaning of the allylic alcohol? When you are having it as an OH group attached to the carbon, which is sp3 hybridized. OH group is attached to the carbon which is sp3 hybridized, and that carbon is attached with sp2 hybridized carbon. Then such alcohols are termed as allylic alcohols. For example, if I write it as CH3, CH2, now out of this I am putting it as an OH. That means this carbon is having it as an all the 4 valency. So this is sp3 hybridized carbon. Now this sp3 hybridized carbon is attached to the carbon which is sp2. sp3 hybridized carbon is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon. So we term it as an allylic alcohol. Now we don't see it that this alcohol is whether primary, secondary, tertiary. What we are specifying it is, it's an sp3 allylic. sp3 attached to sp2 allylic, right? But in place of that, the next one is vinylic. That means, what is the difference in it? If the OH group attached carbon is sp2 hybridized, straight away OH group is attached to the carbon which is sp2 hybridized. CH, OH, double bond, CH2. We term them as an vinylic OH group. Alright? Now this is a vinylic group. There is a specific characteristic of this type of functional groups. When you are having double bond and OH group, they immediately go for tautomerism. So vinylic groups are less stable. They immediately go it for a tautomerism. That means what they do it is, they transfer their H to it and they get it as a double bond. So on the tautomerism, they converts themselves into aldehydes. They get it converted as aldehydes. Or if it is in secondary OH group, they will convert themselves into ketones. That means if we are having it as an CH3, COH, double bond CH2, right? So again you can say that this is vinylic, right? And it will convert itself into CH3, C, double bond O, CH3. H goes to the carbon and double bond goes to the oxygen. But that is possible if your OH and double bond are neighboring to one another, right? If they are on the vinylic group, this reaction always takes place. They go for the stability of the compound, right? Okay, but we can't find out in allylic because this cannot go to the longer distance. If it is on the same, then only it is possible. So you have to remember that this is possible in the vinylic OH group. The next one we are having, it is a benzylic OH. Benzylic alcohol. Now see, I am writing it as, and though the compound is benzene, I am not saying that it's an aromatic in nature. The reason is that OH is not directly attached to the aromatic nucleus. So in this case, when your OH group You are having a benzene. Benzene is attached to the CH2 group, and that CH2 group is attached, or a long chain is there. Aromatic compound is attached to the carbon chain, and that is containing OH group. Then we term it as an benzylic alcohol. So we define it as OH group present on aliphatic chain, which is attached with benzene. Specifically benzene. I am not taking it as an any aromatic compound. It is specifically benzene attached with benzene. Then the compound is termed as benzylic alcohol. And the sixth one we are having it is a phenols. Now that is specific. When you are having it as an any aromatic compound, any aromatic derivative has OH group directly attached with aryl hydrocarbon. Right? Here we draw it as an benzene. Benzene will produce phenol. If I am taking it as an, suppose I am having it as an CH3 toluene, and in it if I am putting it, it will produce cresol. If I am having it as an chlorine, and to it if I am having it as an OH group, it produces orthochlorophenol. Right? So it can be to the any derivative when it is present directly attached to the OH group. Nucleus is directly attached. I have not attached with this carbon. If it would have attached with this carbon, it would have become benzylic alcohol. Right? So directly to the benzene ring, it's known as phenols. Right? So phenols are specific. We don't have any detailed classification of the phenols, because phenols can be of aromatic nucleus, so they can be on the ortho, para and meta position. You can see it either, if I want to go it for the isomers of the phenols, I can go it maximum classification as again same number of OH group, dihydric, trihydric, tetrahydric. That also can be possible in phenols. You can also have it as a compound with two OH groups, catechol, resorcinol or quinol, catechol, benzene, 1,2-diol. Okay, so we can have it like that. You can also say it that they are always secondary. They are always secondary. We don't have primary or tertiary for them, because they will become alcohols. You can say it as phenols specifically. They can produce benzylic or vinylic or allylic alcohols. Like that they can produce phenols. So phenols can be classified only as monohydric, dihydric, trihydric. Okay, or the phenols itself. Okay. Classification of the alcohols and phenols, we have seen it. Now we will see the classification of ether. What will be the change in the classification of ether? Ether means we will be having it as an ROR dash. For it, ethers means your OH group is compulsory attached with two carbons. Right? On this side also you are having carbon chain, on this side also you are having carbon chain. So ethers are classified into two types: simple ethers mixed ethers. We classified into two types: simple ethers and mixed ether. Simple ether means when both the carbon chains attached with oxygen are seen, then they are known as simple ethers. or symmetrical ethers. It is also termed as symmetrical ethers, simple ethers or symmetrical ethers. But if you are having it, the carbon chain attached with O are different, then they are known as mixed ethers. For example, if I want to write it for simple ethers, we can have it as CH3OCH3, or you are having it as in two benzene rings attached to it, right? Maybe aliphatic or maybe aromatic. Both of them are identical. Both of them are having same number of carbon chains. For mixed ethers, CH3O, CH2, CH3, or you can say that CH3O, and other side you are having it as an aromatic. Different groups are there. Then such compounds are known as mixed ethers. So compounds are classified into two types: simple ethers or mixed ethers, right? So within this chapter, at the starting of our first lecture, we have studied the classifications of alcohols, phenols and ethers. For alcohols, now on the basis of number of OH groups, allylic, benzylic, vinylic or phenols. For phenols we are having again number of OH groups that are attached: monohydric, dihydric, trihydric. Okay. For ethers we are having only two of them, simple and mixed ethers, right? Make a practice of it. Just try to understand it, because they can ask us classify the given compounds into their respective types, right, or classify them. Okay, in our next lecture we will study related to the IUPAC nomenclatures for alcohol, phenols and ethers. Till then, thanks.